The Beast is a wooden roller coaster built at Kings Island in Cincinnati, Ohio. The legendary roller coaster was built in 1979 and is still the longest wooden coaster in the world. The ride was extremely popular during opening. The general manager of Cedar Point, an amusement park north of Kings Island, even said that Beast was an outstanding coaster. Due to the success of the Beast, Paramount's Kings Island announced a sequel to the ride. The ride would be called Son of Beast and was the tallest and fastest wooden coaster in the world. It was also the first wooden hypercoaster. The ride was a complete failure and lasted less than a decade. My name is Coaster Legend, and this is the failed history of Son of Beast. On May 11th, 1999, Son of Beast was announced. The roller coaster was the first ever wooden hypercoaster. The ride stood 218 feet or 66 meters tall. It was 7,032 feet or 2,143 meters long. It was also the fastest wooden coaster with a speed of 78 miles per hour or 126 kilometers per hour. It is also the only wooden coaster with a loop at the time. Flip Flap Railway was the first wooden coaster with a vertical loop, but that was long gone. The ride was built by the now defunct RCCA, Roller Coasters Corporation of America. The company built other roller coasters too, like the Rattler at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, and White Canyon at Yomiuri Land. The ride cost over $20 million to build. The ride also had a great capacity of around 1,600 riders per hour. RCCA did a horrible job during construction, and part of the ride collapsed. Paramount's Kings Island fired RCCA because of the problems from the start. The park had to make several corrections to the coaster before opening. Opening was delayed until May 26, 2000. Later that year, Paramount's Kings Island sued RCCA for the problems with Son of Beast. The ride started with a couple of turns before heading up into the lift hill. Following the lift hill was a sharp turn into the drop. The drop led into a jerky turn before heading into a huge double helix. Following the double helix, there was a vertical loop. After the loop, there was another helix and a few small hills, and that led into the brake run. The ride was pretty long. From the beginning, the ride was very rough. In 2001, a year after the ride opened, 2 men broke their necks from the roughness of the ride. Both men survived. Paramount's Kings Island tried to fix the roughness by reinforcing parts of the ride. However, the roughness was still there. And in 2003, a woman suffered from a back injury from the roughness. No major injuries occurred in 2004 or 2005. In the off-season after 2005, Paramount's Kings Island would retract some of the ride and give extra support to the ride. In May of 2006, the company who owned the nearby Cedar Point amusement park would buy Paramount Kings Island along with all of the Paramount parks. This company was called Cedar Fair. On July 9th, 2006, a horrible accident happened. A train was passing over the first helix of the ride as normal. Once the train passed over that part of the track, 3 ledgers snapped. This caused the track to sink. That train made it through the course just fine, but the second train after that did not do so well. The train went over the broken track, and riders experienced a horrible amount of pain. A ride operator noticed that the riders seemed to be injured when the train hit the final brake run, and the ride was quickly e-stopped before anything else could happen. All riders were sent to the hospital. The reason the ledgers cracked was because of the too many laterals on a vertical support beam. The work Kings Island did made some parts of the ride too stiff, which caused some stress on some parts of a ride, like the part where the ledgers snapped. The ride was given lighter trains after this, but these trains couldn't complete the loop. This caused the loop to be removed. The ride operated until 2009 when the ride closed. Some people say that the ride closed because of reports of a person suffering from a brain injury. Also, many injuries occurred on the ride. The ride was standing but not operating for a couple of years before it was torn down. Now, a new roller coaster called Banshee sits in Son of Beast's plot of land. The station of Son of Beast still remains, and a gravestone for Son of Beast sits in the queue for Banshee. Overall, Son of Beast was a huge failure, and probably the biggest failure in amusement park history. The ride suffered from roughness and people got injuries from the ride. This ultimately led to the ride's closure. So that is it for this video. If you enjoyed, please hit the subscribe button and the like button. Tell me if you have ridden Son of Beast in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Roll outro.